Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca and today I am sharing my February bullet journal setup. This theme is comic book, but mainly Marvel because I found these Marvel comic, I guess they're meant to be like laptop and technology decals, but I am using them for my bullet journal. I found this set at Five Below. I'm not sure if every Five Below has them or where else you might be able to find them, but the one I went to had these and I had to snatch them up because I knew I was doing this theme and I just thought they were perfect for it. So for the sort of cover page for the month, I definitely copied this from a template I found online. So this was not my original design, but I think it turned out awesome. I really like the way it turned out in the end with all the different colors I ended up using. And I really like the aspect of sort of color blocking that comics use. I am a person who blends everything when I make a design. Everything gets blended, all the colors go smoothly together, and I've been trying to work on experimenting with more of a block style and not mixing my colors. So just the way comics have stripes and dots and things to blend rather than a smooth gradient going on, and I really love the way this turned out. I was inspired to do this theme because I recently saw the newest Spider-Man movie and it was fantastic. I'm not going to say any spoilers because I know it is still pretty new, but I really love the direction they went with it. I think it was so cool, and I love the actors they brought in for certain spoilery aspects. But watching that movie made me want to see all of the previous Spider-Man movies because I had actually not seen the original movies whatsoever, and I hadn't seen the Amazing Spider-Man movies. So I went on a little binge watch of all the Spider-Man movies and pretty much watched one every night after that. They are all great, so highly recommend watching all the Spider-Man movies if you have not yet done so. I think my favorite are the Amazing Spider-Man ones. I don't know, there's just something about the personality of that Spider-Man, that reminds me a bit of Deadpool's personality, where they're kind of sarcastic and joking around a little bit more, and I really liked that. That was fun to watch. That was the, most interesting one to watch. And I also loved Gwen in that one. I think Gwen is my favorite. So let me know down below if you feel like it, which of the Spider-Man movies is your favorite and which Spider-Man you like the best. And all the markers I am using for this design are once again my King Art dual tip brush pens. I love these things, although I did get a new set of brush pens for Christmas, and I am super excited to use them. They are by Arteza, and you can add water to them and treat them like watercolor. So expect an upcoming video of me officially testing those out. Maybe I will have a new favorite brush pen. We'll see. I'm not sure yet because I actually haven't really tested them out other than to just do some swatches, but I am super excited about those. And as far as colors go, I mainly just tried to follow what I felt looked comic book-esque. I feel like comics used a lot of bright colors, and they also used these dots, a dotting technique to do gradients. So that's what you see me doing here in this blue section. And I think doing dots throughout this theme really helped kind of pull everything together, because otherwise I think it just kind of looks like I did a bright design and didn't really do too much comic book specific stuff, I guess. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it just makes it seem more cohesive. And I'm just putting a Black Widow sticker there because it was one of the ones that seemed to fit in that spot perfectly. And I'm using this larger decal for the other page to kind of be like a quote page, but just photos instead. And on that page, I'm adding more dots to kind of pull everything together. I kind of tried to stick with the same few colors, so I stuck with 2 different yellows, a reddish orange, 2 different greens, and 2 different blues throughout all of the pages, once again, to keep it kind of cohesive. And I tried to pick colors that matched, at least a little bit, matched the decals that were in this set that I had gotten, once again, so that they can all kind of go together. And I think I did a decent job. Obviously, they don't match perfectly, but I think they go together quite well. And now, moving on to the monthly spread, I just decided to make the calendar take up a whole page this month. And I really like February because it is perfectly 4 weeks. And even though this year it didn't start on like a Sunday or a Monday where I could easily make the 4 weeks, I decided to just make it 4 weeks anyway, and I bumped the 28th up to the top, so it does start on the 28th, but that's like the end of the month. I hope that makes sense with what I did. That way I could just keep it the like perfect blocks. And to make these grids, I just kind of put everything at a diagonal so that it went from the bottom left to the top right. And I did keep the days in a row. And then I just slanted pretty randomly with the boxes. I tried to keep the boxes about the same size. Obviously, some are going to be bigger than others because they're sort of oblong shapes. But I tried to keep them about the same size so it could still be a functional calendar. And I did sort of bubble letters for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all the numbers. And then for the title of February, I put it in a little speech bubble up at the top, very comic booky. And I like that I did a drop shadow on a lot of things. I am generally really bad at making drop shadows, so this was a bit of a challenge for me, not just with the color blocking aspect, but with making sure I could get the drop shadows to look decent on some of the lettering as well as that speech bubble. And then I just decided to use a blue for the numbers, and I ended up going back and changing that yellow to a darker orange for the days of the week because I decided to go in a bit later on and make all the squares yellow. I decided to put Thor down at the bottom of this page to kind of make it look like he's, I don't know, crashing through the calendar, and I really liked the way that looked. I also liked that I put him down on the page first, unlike I did with the Black Widow sticker on the first page. With the Black Widow one, I found it kind of, because they're see-through stickers, it kind of made the yellow look green, and I didn't like that. So with Thor, it almost makes it look like he's got a little bit of an outline, but you can still see through him a little bit to those black lines, and I think it just looks really good. And here I am actually going in with that yellow to do all the boxes. Not gonna lie, it did smudge a bit, so if I had thought ahead, I would have done the yellow first and outlined afterwards. But you know, we didn't plan ahead that well. But there I am just fixing the days of the week because the yellow was too close to the yellow boxes. And then on to the next page, which is actually just a master list of all the Marvel movies that have come out so far. I did not list the ones that are scheduled to come out throughout this year because honestly, I just did not have space the way I did this. And the decal I had that said Marvel did not quite fit. It just was barely too long to fit at the top there. So I just took some scissors and cut out the letters so that they could overlap slightly and fit on the top of that page. But like I said, watching the latest Spider-Man movie really made me want to watch all the Spider-Man movies. And not only that, it made me want to go back and watch the Marvel movies I haven't seen and potentially rewatch the ones that I have seen. I think I've seen about half of them at this point. I think Iron Man is my favorite, and I don't know, Spider-Man is a close second. So here is my master list. I have not checked off anything. I have seen a lot of these, but we're just going to kind of let this be. It's more so just so I can reference it later on and less of like a hardcore, I am watching all of these. And then on the opposite page, I am putting my habit tracker. And this is the first time in a long time I have made a completely separate page for habit tracking because I really, really wanted to use the little comic speech bubble things as the, like, each habit to track and each little mini monthly calendar. So I tried to do a variety of different shapes for that. I did one that just says habits at the top, and then I kind of alternated between this roundish square, this cloud-like one, and then just a rounded bubble. And I think it looked really good, and I also added the Black Panther decal on the bottom. Once again, I really like how I planned that to be on there first before doing the background, because then I could have a little like outline around him, and the colors in the background are not, especially with this one with the blue background, it didn't turn that yellow a green color, because that's how color theory works. I wasn't really sure what to do with the background of this one, and then I just figured I'd have like a spiral kind of, not a spiral, a alternating like lines of the blue and the darker blue. I think it looks pretty good. I like the way the drop shadow helps the bubbles stand out, and I do kind of wish I had done something more than just having the like black words on like the bottom. I kind of wish I had put them inside the bubbles instead of underneath them, but it's too late for that now, and I still think it looks fine. I'm not great at tracking habits. I tend to start out really good at the beginning of the month and then kind of fade when it comes to tracking them, and then I set up the new month and I'm like excited to track them again, and then halfway through I kind of give up. So we'll see if having a full-on page makes a difference at all when it comes to actually tracking the habits that I want to keep track of. Some of them I have gotten pretty good about just doing on their own, which is the point of forming habits. And we're getting to the end now. The next page is a super simple one. It's just for goals and then kind of brain dump esque things, and I decided to keep this super simple. I just have goals at the top, 1, 2, 3, because I like to have 3 goals every month to kind of hone in on. And then I decided to add the incredible Hulk decal here because Hulk is helping us smash our goals this month. I know, it's genius, and I love that for me. And then I also just ended up putting the other larger decal on the opposite side, and then here's a final little flip through of how everything looks together. I am so happy with this theme. I think it is one of my favorite themes that I have ever done, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!